So welcome back to another episode of me trying to look for correlations of quakes, and then hopefully long term this can become predictions of quakes. But first, just looking at the correlations in the data. I thought for today I would just go over all the quakes one day leading up to the Columbia quake, right? Because that was pretty big. That happened in the last 3 days while I was just working on features of this. And in my last video, I just went over features and I didn't really talk much about this quake. But I think that if I want to use this for predicting quakes, then it would be a great test case to see if maybe we can extract some variables and hopefully use this for predicting a quake. So right now I'm looking at Geodesics. The parameters are within 1 degree of any 2 quakes plus or minus 1 day. And like I said in the last video, red is older, green is newer than the current quake, which is highlighted right now in yellow, which is this Kermadec Islands quake here. And green is in the future. So right now the Columbia quake is 1 day in the future from where we're looking right now. And if I go any older, it disappears. So this is the edge of our window, right? And so I'm going to look through all the geodesics that are touching this quake, and I'm just going to, at the moment I don't have a explicit calculation for tracking one specific quake as I go over all the other quakes in a timeline, like I was doing with the planets in the last one. I don't have that for specific quakes, but maybe I'll add that soon. But for now, I'm just going to eyeball this. And I'm just going to go over sequentially all these quakes. And I think there's about 40 from here until the Columbia quake actually happens. And just going to see which lines look like they're going through, right? So I can do numbers, I can do calculations and graphs and stuff later. And if you follow the YouTube posts, then you've seen a lot of those. So, or at least in recent days, I guess. But so here we go, starting with Kermadec Islands. There's nothing at first. You see all of the geodesics that are lined up with this seem like they're going through Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, which those ones continue to go through, like this guy here, someone farther in the past in Central Asia. And then he goes through Turkey, and the other one goes farther north through, is that Taiwan, and then through Greece or somewhere. So, and then I guess those are the geodesics for those. Then the Alaska ones looks like they're only going through Alaska, but let's keep going into the future. And so here, next one in the future, Atlantic, still nothing, and then Bullseye, right? This Japan quake has a grouping of geodesics that went right through Colombia. It's got a lot, so it might be hard to fish out the Colombia data out of this. Or Argentina? Is that? No, I guess Argentina is the lower one. Either way, yeah. So I definitely have a use for designing this extra feature for tracking one specific location on Earth while I cycle through Quake. So, but I just want to do it anecdotally now. Just cycle through the numbers. So here's one, right? Here's one that looks like it's got a lot of geodesics that were active. Other quakes are on it, and it's going right through the Columbia quake, right? And here, this is like a definite one, right? So where's this at? Greece, and it's got active lines that are going right through Columbia, right through. Let's see if we can find Columbia. Yeah, there's Columbia right on top. Well, what do you know? The absolutely closest quake or closest geodesic goes right through Colombia, Indonesia, and Greece within 0.02 degrees, right? Incredibly tight geodesic arc around the Earth that goes right through our future quake. So my whole argument for this, I was thinking for predictors, and maybe I'll need quite a higher resolution to do this, is that I could plot out all possible geodesics, look at heat maps, and then maybe that would be indicators of where quakes would go. Maybe that's one thing we could look at. So here's an incredibly tight geodesic that goes right through this quake that's about to happen in the future, right, within the next day. And here we go again. These are close but no cigar, right? This is like directly on this central USA or Canada quake, but it's still decently far from Colombia. And then here's like these also still decently far away. These are hitting the geodesics throughout Central America and the Caribbean. But this guy also, this has, let's see if he's on the list of touching quakes, if I can find Colombia here. And maybe not. Yep, there it is. Oh, once again, oh my gosh, very top quake. Second time in a row, I say there is a geodesic through the future Colombia quake, and it's the top of the list, right? And this one's within it's like 0.0859, right? So it's within 0.1 degrees. That was my old threshold about, oh my gosh, these are all lining up. So this one went Fiji Islands to Colombia to Puerto Rico, right? Interesting, huh? And so here's another one. This one looks like a ton of geodesics that are going straight through, New Mexico. This even looks like it's going through Idaho and Alaska. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It is going through those in the past, but in the future, the green lines, they are going more towards Nevada here, I guess. And then they're going down through Central America and the Colombia quake. And let's just look at those on the list. And, yeah, Nevada, Afghanistan, Mauritius. Wow. Where's Colombia? There it is, second one on the list, 0.0011. Actually, it's pretty close tied with first on the list. Maybe I need to work on my WGS 84, or maybe I need to add the geoid altitude stuff correction. But yeah, still number first, second, third on the list. That's that group of geodesics we see going down there. Actually, it looks like there's more than three. Maybe there's just three. The resolution is pretty bad, so it's an old computer. So, yeah, I'm broke. Please, if you enjoy the content, feel free to click the Buy Me a Coffee link and donate. But here we got another set of geodesics going right through Colombia. Here we have, yet again, what do you know? This is leading up to the quake within the last day, within 1 degree geodesics, and we have New Mexico striking, pointing right at it. And New Mexico's geodesics in line with Colombia are also in line with Nevada, which just struck moments later. What are the odds? What are the odds? So here we have, right, Colombia touching Caliente, Nevada at 4:48 p.m. And then that same geodesic, 6:30 p.m. So like about 2 hours later, that exact same geodesic struck again, and we haven't even got to the Colombia. This is all in the same day before the Colombia quake, and we're having activity on this exact same line. What are the odds? And if you see here this green dot that's halfway through Central America, you know that this geodesic is still going to be active, even plus or minus the Colombia quake, distances away, and probably a different fault line, though. I don't have fault line display here. Add that to the list of features I need. We'll see what else happens. So here, this one is on this geodesic, the Caliente, Nevada quake has a geodesic going out of it up through Alaska. It's not the Colombia geodesic, right? Those are in green. This is a one in red that points all the way down to like Falkland Islands or something, but it's going up, and that's the very next place that strikes up here in Alaska, right? And what do you know? That Alaska quake has on it this quake in the middle of Great Plains states that is straight in line with Colombia once again. What a reoccurring theme, huh? And what do you know? Top of the list once again, we have Colombia, and through Japan. Colombia to Japan within 0.1185 degrees, right? And I don't even, where's the central USA quake? That's got to be on the list somewhere. Colombia, Japan is there's South Dakota, it has to be at. And there you have it, Colombia, South Dakota, 0.2 degrees. And that's why I didn't want to get so focused on 0.1 degrees, because I'm looking for patterns more than I'm looking for exact numbers to prove some. I don't have a some kind of mathematical theory formulated just yet. I'm probably more interested in looking for indicators, in fact, than I am at trying to prove exactly how the plates are moving around the Earth. But hey, if either one pops out, that'd be great, right? But here we have it. This quake struck more different geodesics than the last quake that had its own set of geodesics pointing to Columbia, right? Top geodesics. These are sorted by angle, by the tightest fitting angle, and we're looking at the top geodesics on the list. And once again, next quake, Hawaii. I think I've still got a ways to go. Yeah, I've got like 25 or more maybe quakes to go. It's going to take a while, really. I thought this would be a short video, but we're just seeing so many of these line up. Hawaii points right at Columbia again. Where's it's got to be top on the list. Where is Columbia? A lot of Puerto Rico activity from this Hawaii quake. Yeah, I guess these are not so tight fitting as the last set. Where I guess this this Columbia quake seems like it's more closely aligned with the Idaho and the Caribbean ones, but maybe somewhere down here. Yeah, there only there. What's that? 0.89. So within 1 degree. So that's a bit looser fit, but it's still within my tolerance range for this exercise at least. And this is also close, but I'm not going to go search for it. It's probably on the list, but it's going to be near the bottom. Maybe it's not even. And this one too. Look, this is interesting. Now we had a group of quakes that all pointed right to Columbia, and now we're having a group of quakes that don't. So, and there you go. This is like the peak of the sine wave, right? Now the Columbia quake is just completely off what we're looking at. Nonetheless, this geodesic I was even more interested in because this is weird. It just goes straight up and down. It goes through this island or Antarctic Ridge. Sorry, maybe there's no island there. Sorry, it goes through this point in the Antarctic. It goes through this point in the Arctic, and then goes straight up South America's mountain range. But yeah, weird. We just transitioned from every single quake being right on Columbia to every single quake being not on Columbia. So there's some kind of sine wave going on underneath. And there we are back to where we started. New Mexico pointing right through those same familiar quakes right to Columbia. Should I even bother look at the angle? It's the top of the list, 0.024 degrees. And then, the next few, so there it is confirmed with numerics. And then we're off, but close. But that's the infamous north-south geodesic I was talking about too much last video. Close and on once again, and this is the same geodesic we just saw before from Alaska to, I think they said South Dakota, I forget, to Columbia, or maybe this says Columbia to Japan, so maybe the South Dakota, or I forget exactly. I'm looking at right at the title. It's South Dakota, yeah, of course, yeah, Japan, South Dakota, Columbia, yeah. Oh, and there's another set that's a group going through Columbia and these islands way out in the... What islands are those? My geography's not so great. Where is it? It might not be the tightest fitting quakes because I see a whole bunch of more tightly fitting quakes. India, Antarctic. Those are probably underneath the menu right now. Puerto Rico, yeah, it's definitely not so tight fitting because it's not popping up just yet. Oh well, I'm gonna give up on finding it. You can see that there's a bunch going through it. This one, originating Indonesia, and going through these. I don't know. I think there are islands there. I couldn't find it in the list just yet. And then it's going through Colombia, and then here we have a nice clear clean geodesic. From this San Juan, Puerto Rico, down, was it top of the list? No, not quite top. Where is it going to be? It's somewhere near the top, it looks like, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's not exactly, I guess. Not exactly at the top, but you can see that it's very close. Is that one going through Myanmar again? Because Myanmar had that incredibly strong one like a week or two ago, and here it is pointing right through to these guys, to our future 6.3 Quake that's about to happen on this timeline. Then here we have the infamous north-south. These sets of geodesics are interesting because if you look at this Antarctic quake, it's, maybe I'll show you guys this. In fact, this now we're highlighted on the Arctic version of it, but these geodesics just put a giant cross through the Arctic and the Antarctic. It's like peeling an orange, peeling the Earth as an orange. And there's the infamous, in fact, here, I'm going to use this chance to show off my new feature. Every time a developer says that, it's like, things will probably break. But here, I've got this new recenter on our Quake feature, and it smoothly does that. And then I've got it in azimuthal mode, so you can see the geodesics just going kind of straight out, one after the other. And so this one can better show you whenever Quakes all line up in a straight line, right? And forgive me, the interpolation is kind of off because it's spherical, and it's linear interpolation of spherical coordinates, but I'm going to do a proper quaternion spherical linear interpolation for all the visualization programmers out there who know what a ERP. But either way, where were we, right? At this guy, right? And there's this giant plus that it's making. But there's me showing off new features, but that's beside the point. So I'll go back to our equirectangular and zero all of our, oops. Yeah, I knew it. There's going to be some kind of bug. Let's see if I can fix this live. Never do your testing during your demonstration, right? Yeah, okay, I broke it. So either way, now we're stuck in this mode. So if I look at the Columbia Quake, I've now got to do it relative to the current selected Quake being in the center of the screen. Yeah. So here's our next one. It also has a geodesic. What's that, San Juan? I guess there's a group of Quakes that struck there. It's got a geodesic going through Colombia. There's Indonesia, other side of the world, also has some going through Colombia. I'll hurry up and finish this and fix that problem. That's a good incentive to make this video short. Here's New Mexico. It's kind of all the same usual suspects as far as, I think I've really tracked all the unique geodesics that are going through Colombia and the unique Quake areas that are going through Colombia here, right? San Juan once again and again. There's a Central American one, it's Honduras that I was pointing at, that goes through New Mexico and goes through Colombia. More Puerto Rico, Fiji Islands. Actually, never mind. This one's not on Colombia, right? No geodesics going through there. So we just had another group of Quakes that all had geodesics through Colombia, and then it's off. So I'm seeing some kind of sinusoidal. Maybe I'm just seeing it. Maybe it's in my head, because here we go. It strikes Colombia again, Puerto Rico again, right? But then that one also has. Here we go. Colombia is up here. I'll take another swipe at fixing the recenter on Quakes, but I think it's done for. Wait, never mind. I can turn off the interpolation and done, recovered. Okay, so yeah. That's right. It's not quite identity. I always keep it at specific. Like this. Okay, there's the north-south geodesic. There's the Puerto Rico with this diagonal one through Colombia. Once again, we saw that active a zillion times. And there, finally, we're at Colombia. Okay, end the video. But here's a bunch of correlating. I don't know if evidence is the right word or information, but this is the foundation, at least, of how I'm going to start trying to build a predictor. So maybe I'll do like geodesics and heat maps or something like that. We'll see. And I'll definitely add a feature to track individual points on the Earth, like this individual Quake, like I was already doing for the planets. But there's all the geodesics pointing to Colombia for the day leading up to Colombia, plus or minus 1 degree. So very interesting stuff, huh? We will see what activity happens in the future. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.